How is it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to W Entertainment and Overwatch. My name is Priest, and today I thought I'd be bringing you guys my first ever top 5 video for Overwatch. And today I thought I'd bring you guys the top 5 most underrated heroes in Overwatch. Now, this is in no particular order, so number 5 could be the best, and number 1 could be the worst, number 3 could be the best, etc., etc. So Overwatch has its fair share, I should say, of popular and unpopular heroes, but there are many unpopular heroes that are also very good and very effective, being either depending on the rest of your team's playstyle or the map. So without further ado, let's get into number 5. Number 5, Ana. As I'm sure it went to no surprise, Ana is definitely going to be on this list. She is possibly the most underrated hero in all of Overwatch. Ana is amazing, and you really should be careful when you're fighting against an Ana. Fighting against an Ana can prove to be pretty devastating considering how good of a hero she really is. I think the most underrated part of Ana is her sleep dart. Of course, everybody knows that you can put people to sleep playing Ana, and everyone knows that it's not easy to do such. However, Ana is just impeccable. She's really good, and if you are the right kind of player, Ana can be the most devastating force that anybody can mess with. So make sure that you don't underestimate Ana. When you guys are playing against her, she is a healer, and you will find maybe a few other healers in this video. There are definitely quite a bit of underrated healers in Overwatch, because not too many people look at support characters as good for doing damage and playing on offensive, but surprisingly they are still good at offensive. It pretty much depends on the kind of player you are. To play a support character, it does take patience, and it takes it's very stressful playing a support character because you're always going to be the first to get targeted. However, you should still be able to take out a team playing with the support character. Sure, it's not easy, and it's gonna take some time, but a good support character is what is going to be winning you guys matches, and Ana is just another example of this. Number 5, Farah. So I'm sure a lot of people know that Farah would be on this list. Farah is amazing, and she is extremely underrated. Nobody can really see how good Farah really is. Yet she does have her fair share of maps that she's better on than others. Maps that I would recommend playing Farah on would be maps that you can get environmental kills, being kills that when you knock people off the edge. These are play of the game making kills, and those are really the only maps that I see many people play Farah. However, Farah is good on all maps. Like right there, that could have been an environmental kill if Wrecking-Ball was closer to the edge. However, he wasn't, which led to it not being one. I mean, Farah is really good. Her rocket launcher being very effective, and I see most people play Farah. People only say that they play Farah because she can fly. That seems to be what does it for everybody. And sure, that's a very useful thing, but Farah is better than just for flying. You could be able to use Farah for many things. Like she can just destroy barriers. She is like a counter to all shield tanks. Also Brigitta. So Farah is good for that. She's a counter to the shield tanks because she can completely ignore the barriers by just flying over top of them. Also making her a pretty good solo 1v1 hero. Which there's not a lot of heroes that are good for 1v1 duels, but Farah brings you the assumption to be good for those. So I would 100% recommend that you guys play Farah. Number 3, Junkrat. Now I'm pretty sure that some people were surprised by this entry here at number 3. Yes, Junkrat is underrated. Not too many people play him for as good as he is. Junkrat is amazing, guys, and if you don't play him, then you're really missing out. Junkrat being the big explodey guy that everybody knows with his awesome grenade launcher, that he can do a 250 damage burst, which can prove to be demolishing to every hero in the game. Junkrat is devastating in his own ways, and his mines are ways that affect and make him even more deadly than you may have thought. Junkrat is our second DPS entry in today's video, and he is just that good. Like you saw right there, I pretty much solo took the entire objective until that Widow found me eventually, but Junkrat should still be extremely more popular than he really is, because he is just good. Now his gun, on the other hand, may not be the best for distance, because you have to aim really high to shoot it far, considering that they shoot heavy grenades. However, he still can manage to up close to medium range. He can do almost as much damage as Reaper. He's like the only DPS hero I would want to go 1v1 with Reaper with and actually feel confident in coming up with the W. She may not be good enough to take out Symmetra's turrets, which Symmetra can be considered a counter to Junkrat, but I wouldn't consider that. I mean, I really think that Junkrat doesn't have many counters. Maybe snipers would be his only counter, aka that person right there, Widowmaker, maybe Junkrat's only counter. And a Widowmaker, an Ana, a Hanzo, and Ashe can prove to be extremely annoying to Junkrat, because they do so much damage to him. As it is, he needs to be able to be protected. He needs to be running around with a healer, which would be the only thing that can keep Junkrat alive. However, I did put Junkrat on this list because he is not that commonly played for a good hero as he is. He's nearly as good as Reaper, and Reaper is always picked over Junkrat, which surprises me because I think that Junkrat is a fantastic addition to a team. Junkrats can carry teams. I've seen it happen before. I've seen a lot of people carry the team with a Junkrat. Junkrat's ultimate also being one of the best ultimates in the game. Next to is right up there with Reaper's Death Blossom for usefulness in team kills. Junkrat can get some pretty good team kills with his ultimate. I've seen it done. I've done it, and that is another reason why I'm surprised that Junkrat is so underrated, because his ultimate is so useful, and you just need to be able to use his ultimate correctly and not like I just did. On top of Junkrat's ultimate that makes him very good, he's also, even though he's countered by snipers, I still think that he can also counter snipers back. And I'll say this because he moves around a lot, and it can make it hard for snipers to actually hit him, which may be something that makes him more effective than other heroes in the game when it comes to going at snipers, because he uses his landmines to jump around, which will make him hard to hit by snipers, yet he is countered by snipers. So it's kind of complicated. I mean, it depends on the kind of Junkrat that you are. If you are like me, then you don't waste your grenades to jump around that much, and that may be where the snipers come in handy against you and come in as the main counter. But I really think that Junkrat should be able to take out snipers if he is able to sneak up on them. If he's trying to do it from a distance, of course it will not work out very well. And as you see against a Moira, it's also quite hard to take out a Moira. If it's a good Moira. Good Moiras will be much harder to take out than bad Moiras. However, Junkrat is extremely underrated, and that's pretty much the reasons why. Number 2, Brigitta. Now, since Brigitta took heavy repeated nerfs, she has been removed from the most played lists. Brigitta is nowhere near as popular as she once was when she first came out due to all the repeated nerfs that she has suffered. Brigitta has suffered many repeated nerfs, and it has been hurting her in so many ways, in which I'm still upset at Blizzard for doing all these repeated nerfs to Brigitta when she was pretty much the unkillable force that we all knew. Nightmare to people that didn't like to play melee shield builds, and that is why I think Blizzard so heavily nerfed Brigitta. Since Brigitta's shield now only has 200 health instead of 500, it is way too low, and it should not be anywhere near 200 health. It should be at least 300 to 350 health, 200 being far too low. And I find this very stressful that they've lowered her shields that much. As you can see, Brigitta's shield bash doesn't even work as well as it used to. The stun went from like 100 damage down to like 5 damage it was. And that is not acceptable for Brigitta mains. I was a Brigitta main until all these heavy nerfs took her away, and that's what pretty much ended my Brigitta time playing. And I'm really stressed out by this because Brigitta was a fantastic hero. She was amazing. I loved playing her, but since she's been so heavily nerfed and she's nowhere near what she used to be great. Now she is just nothing. She took too many nerfs and it broke her as a hero, which very much upsetted me. But still, Brigitta should be a continued player. Everyone should be playing Brigitta more than they do, and it upsets me that such a good hero pretty much went to waste. Brigitta was so amazing, but now not as much. And number 1, you guessed it, Zenyatta. One of the most useful healers in the game, he is also extremely underrated. Zenyatta being able to heal constantly with his orbs, making him extremely successful, and just definitely underrated because he doesn't get enough credit for as good as he really is. Zenyatta can make and break a team. Zenyatta can carry a team. I've seen it done before. There's been instances where I've been carried by a Zenyatta, or I've carried a team as Zenyatta, and it's really useful. But the new hero, Sigma, counters Zenyatta pretty severely. Sigma is basically a tank version of Zenyatta, in this being very hurtful to Zenyatta himself, that he has basically been to have a remade model as a tank, and Sigma does so much more damage than Zenyatta ever did and probably ever will. So yeah, Zenyatta is decent at distances, and Sigma is not. Zenyatta still can be countered by Sigma pretty freaking severely. So yeah, there's not many things that can save Zenyatta from Sigma at the moment, until maybe Sigma takes a nerf, which I'm pretty sure that Sigma will take a nerf at some point. And Zenyatta may take a buff at some point. I mean, he literally got beat by himself in tank form, which is aka Sigma. That's basically who Sigma is, a tank variant of Zenny himself. But Zenny is still got the distance orbs over Sigma's orbs. Sigma's orbs close to medium range. Zenny is from pretty much Zenny can hit people from a headshot far away, just like a Widow could. And Zenny is just freaking amazing when it comes to that. His accuracy, you really have to know how to aim and how Zenyatta's orbs work when he throws them to be able to aim good and take out an enemy team. It's all depending on how good of a Zenny you are, how much experience you've had playing Zenyatta in the past. And if the other team does have a Sigma, I wouldn't recommend playing Zenyatta because Zenyatta is just overly powered by Sigma himself. So be careful and be wary of that. But guys, that's pretty much it for my top 5 underrated heroes in Overwatch Origins Edition. If you guys did like it, make sure you pop a like, comment, and subscribe to Dub Gaming Entertainment. And with that being said, we are going to wrap up the top 5 most underrated heroes in Overwatch, ending now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you turn on the bell notifications so you don't miss out on any exclusive content here at Dub Game Entertainment. And I'll see you guys later.